Today I decided to go through all the patch notes from 2017. There's actually 53 patches, and I've gone through them and I kind of like wrote out things that stood out to me. And just for the heck of it, out of 53 patches, I asked on Twitter, how many do you guys think that they were actually game-changing patches besides just fixes? Yes, fixes are needed for every game. CSGO devs did do a lot of fixes, a lot of tweaks and stuff, but out of those 53 in a whole year, how many do you guys think there were actually really big game-changing, I want to stick to CSGO patches? Put it in the comment section down below and let's jump into the video. Throughout the video, you're going to see me mention 58 patches. I didn't know that there were actually 5 pre-release notes, which means that there weren't actually patches, so there are actually only 53 patches. I'll fix that towards the end. A few weeks ago, actually 24 days ago, I saw this Reddit post. 318 days ago, Valve told us that the R8 Revolver and the Negev would be available for a limited time in matchmaking, and the Negev was reduced to $2,000 as a starting point. Nothing has changed regarding this since then. That's almost a whole year of limited time in matchmaking. This post got quite a lot of traction, which I don't know if it has anything to do with the latest patch, improved accuracy and accuracy recovery, lowered the price, armor penetration. 3 Clicks Philip actually has a video on this if you guys want to watch it. He goes into great detail about everything, so go check it out if you want. What I thought about was to go through all 58 patches from 2017 and see how much CSGO has actually changed. There's a lot of things that they changed, and obviously this would make it a huge list, but I thought I would just sort of put aside for 2017 the things that stood out to me in this patches. For example, things like fixed spots where the C4 would get stuck. I'm not gonna put those into this list because these are just minor fixes that were not supposed to be there to begin with. I don't care about rendering issue with new character footstep shadows. I'm looking for the bigger things that they changed in CSGO. If you guys want to tag along for the ride, go ahead and grab a chair, sit down. I'm gonna edit out the boring part, so I'm not gonna make this video too insanely long, but let's just go ahead and dive into it and see how much has CSGO changed in 2017. December 14, 2016 was the last patch. We don't care about that. We just want 2017, so that's almost a whole month. And they released this patch. First part of the patch has to do with E-League. No longer drop a duplicate grenade. I didn't even know that was a thing, but they fixed that. Steam authentication for LAN events. Small fixes to Mirage, Nuke, Cache, small fixes to Inferno. In the same month, we got another patch, more to do with the Pick'em challenge. Server updates, GoTV, and logs, and apparently something works on Mac. For the month of January, nothing but small fixes. February, replaced Dust 2 with Inferno in the active duty group. Optimized water materials used in Inferno, Nuke, and Aztec maps. Small fixes to Cobblestone, small fixes to Overpass, fix to Train. Valentine's Day, added a better error message for clients explaining the too many entities on the server error. Fix, fix, fix. 2 days later, fixed helmet and armor icons and achievement icons. And then for a whole month, there was no patch. And then for February, nothing but small fixes. March, here we go. Release canals, Spectrum case with 17 new skins. We gotta add that to the list. I'll just remove this so we don't see extra text. More audio fixes. Set team ID to always on. Made water outside the map deeper. Cobblestone raised arch. Italy fixed some small stuff, and Cache fixed some small stuff. 2 days later, we got another patch. Server logs, shader rework, fixed some minor issues. 3 days later, fixed stuff to the shader rework that they did. Cache and canals just fixed some smaller stuff. 4 days later, this is where they removed the Negev and the Revolver. Added ability to add friends using CSGO friend codes. No idea what that is. More fixes on the newly released map, Canals. And the last patch for March was on the 29th. Added the item certificate, which includes the finish style, finish catalog number, pattern template, and wearing rate. You know what? I'm going to put that because CSGO skins is a big thing, and I'm sure some people appreciated that. A lot more stuff on Canals. Man, I didn't realize how much stuff they fixed. Militia smoothed out movement in general. April. First patch comes almost in the middle. middle of April, added the holiday cheer, re-added the Negev and the revolver, for a limited time, so it's not going to be there for almost a whole year. Server fixes for Perfect World CSGO beta and some other minor fixes. 420 UI fixes for Perfect World beta, made all the knives deploy exactly 1 second. Militia fix, cobblestone fix, and again canal fix. They did remove the lamp on IV/garbage. But that's to note. 5 days later, Perfect World added ability to send friend requests, support, fixed, and some small miscellaneous stuff like headshot ding sound no longer audible at very long distance, except for the player who scored a headshot. By the way, if it looks like I'm going too fast, I actually am reading them first, and then I go back and just sort of like highlight anything that needs to be highlighted. That was the last patch for April. May. A lot of miscellaneous stuff. Server updates, small updates to Perfect World. 1 day later, small fixes to the CSGO SDK launcher. Fix something with the knife that does reduce damage. More fixes. Again, Perfect World. Expanded the official data center in South Africa, and then some more miscellaneous updates. On the 23rd, we got Operation Hydra, so that's a big one. Operation Hydra gave us more game modes and maps and some extra missions if you paid the $6. Small changes to the sounds. UMP got nerfed. Some other small changes like made the Zeus show in pistol holster for players with Zeus and no pistol. Tweaks for Wingman and War Games, and again more stuff on canals. Although it doesn't say here, but we also got Operation Hydra case. I don't know how many skins are in those. 15, 16, 17. Another 17 skins. 1 day later, Perfect World got some small updates. We got a bunch of fixes on Hydra. UI fix, and then fixes. 2 days later, we just got some miscellaneous fixes. Last patch for May, Wingman now has a 5-minute warm-up and 1 minute after all players connect. Fix, and more miscellaneous fixes. Then we go to June, which means that was basically the only thing that happened in May. Let's go to June. Twitch integration, they added the game modes to show in the header in addition to maps. Hydra got fixes. Some maps got more fixes. And then even more fixes. 2 days later, added normal mapping to custom paint job, patina, gunsmith paint styles, upgrade the CZ75 Victoria to use normal mapping, more fixes, and even more fixes. Something to do with map creators, replaced and added some stuff for the server by the looks of it. Tweaks to Operation Hydra. 3 days later, they made it so Wingman, you can solo queue. Some algorithms to Wingman, letting us know that Wingman events might feature Inferno and Cobblestone as possible maps. On the 19th, there was a pretty lengthy update, but all of it has to do with GoTV, which is the spectator mode or that spectator view that you see in the events. Which takes us to the next update on the 20th. Updated cache to the latest Steam Workshop version. Changed some of the mapping to 4 skins. We should add that in June, they updated cache. Adjustments to Operation Hydra, and more GoTV stuff. That was the last patch for June, which means now we jump into July. Fixed audio, another pick'em challenge with 50% of the proceeds going to players and organizations. They did some changes to the audio and gave you a few more options, more miscellaneous, and more weapon finishes. Updated signatures of players where the mistake in content was ours. That was the only thing that happened in July. I was gonna put this as the major, but it doesn't really have to do anything with the game as an update because I didn't put the first one. So we'll just leave it as the major and some small finishes. And then we move to the 1st of August, again with the major in-game trophies, fixes, upgrades, optimization. This is where they announced the changes for the Tech 9. Players will now make a landing sound if they uncrouch while crouch jumping, and some more fixes. A week later, they made that patch live, which I now realize that there were 2 pre-release notes, which means there were only 56 patches instead of 58, because these are just pre-release notes. These are not live. until this right here goes live. Another pre-release note, we are down to 55 now. 5.7 has been adjusted to reward tactical positioning and defensive play. Perfect world, and they fixed a whole bunch of stuff, including fixed an issue where sniper bots didn't like the SCAR 20. 2 days later, the patch went live with everything in that pre-release. 21st, we have Happy Birthday CSGO, party mode activated, small audio changes, fixed even more stuff. This is the last patch for August. So let's jump into September. Overwatch added an explanation to Overwatch grieving convictions that players can be convicted for not participating in a match for an extended period of time. Small changes to inventory, gift, and trading, limited time offers from the store, more miscellaneous fixes. 9/11 perfect world enabled person-to-person trading, small updates, pre-release, which means we are now going down to 54 patches, significantly reduced unarmored aim punch, changes to the Glock, and changes to the P250. And then 2 days later, a lot of stuff about perfect world and sticker capsules, Spectrum 2 case with 17 skins, then made the pre-release note live with the Glock and P250 changes. On the 21st, more perfect world stuff. Operation Hydra passes are 50% off, and they fixed a lot of stuff, and they fixed even more stuff. Fixes to the smoke, reduced price of the revolver and the dualies, more fixes. 1 day later, another update, which has to do a lot with the perfect world, which is pretty much CSGO China. 1 day later, again, even more updates, has to do again with perfect world and China. And that is it for the month of September. Let's move to October. We start on the 5th with more stuff to perfect world and some changes to the smoke again. Another pre-release note, which means that instead of 54 we go down to 53. And if you're wondering why I'm going down, I originally went in and I counted every single patch here, but it's not every single patch because some of these are pre-releases, which means they are not patches, they're just announcing what's going to happen. This is where they announced the new Dust 2, updated the audio on some surfaces. On the 18th is actually when we got new Dust 2. On the 20th, these are just all updates and changes to Dust 2 they released. This is when I think the new audio thing they added, which was crazy to a lot of people, and even more fixes to Dust 2 and server logs. On the 27th, still fixes to Dust 2, even more miscellaneous fixes. On the 31st, added holiday cheer, enabled the audio, which we were talking about. For the month of October, we basically got Dust 2 and they fixed it a lot. November, Dust 2 got even more fixes, and then the audio got some changes. On the 13th, Operation Hydra came to a close. Wingmen and Scoutsmen available to game modes, which I'm actually going to give them credit for this. I do like having Wingmen. I like having it. I enjoy it a lot. Matchmaking now uses Trust Factor. Do we add Trust Factor here? Small updates and fixes and SDK updates. 28th and last patch of November. Improved audio, war games, miscellaneous fixes, and more changes to the Trust Factor. To help us further improve the Trust Factor, send us an email at CSGO team feedback at Valve Software. Okay. Do they only take suggestions if it's for Trust Factor, or can we use this email for anything that we want to suggest to them? Then we move in December. Audio changes to help you hear the bomb better, and then some miscellaneous fixes, and added find in console so you can find commands a little bit easier. December 19th, we have the Boston Major, which came with a lot of stickers, pick'em, and all of that. Holiday cheer, fixed a couple of things, replaced shotgun spread model. Oh, okay. And then we are at the last patch of 2017. We have the service medal, some languages, and just some other fixes. I don't even know why I put the months, because I thought I would have a lot more things to list here. Out of 2017, this is the list that I came up with. 10 things is what I came up with in 2017, going through 53 patches. Don't get me wrong, there were a lot of fixes and a lot of updates which were necessary, which they did fix, so good job to them. In terms of the game itself, forget about the skins and everything else. They gave us canals, updated cache, updated dust 2, wingman, and trust factor, which I don't even know if it should be on the list because every time I play CSGO, everybody tells me to just use prime instead of the trust factor. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'm a little bit surprised. I really thought it would be a longer list than that. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.